96.7 The Beat, the A's, hip hop and R&B. What's happening, world? I am Moran, the man. Another episode, another edition of 20 Infinity Live. And this is the second edition of the 404 Spotlight, where we basically highlight a lot of people in Atlanta who are dope that's just doing a lot of cool stuff and been doing a lot of cool stuff. And I'm in the presence of somebody who's been doing just that. Jace.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, Jace. So for the people who may not be familiar with you, well, I'm familiar with you, but, 2-9, ear drummers, y'all been doing y'all thing in the city for a while. So why don't you properly introduce yourself for the people who may not be familiar to you as a person?
For sure. It's Jace, man. 2-9, ear drummers, all that. What I'm like, we like 10 years in now.
Wow.
Retro Sushi, Curtis Williams, Key, Fat Kid's brother, your boy, all of that, man. Been going in.
Absolutely. First things first, congratulations on the 10-year anniversary of 2-9.
Thank you. It's crazy. I was thinking about it the other day. I was like, dang, man, I was young as hell doing it. That's crazy.
I know, man.
That's crazy.
So how does it feel for you to be in this space, to continuously be here? Because, you've been putting out music for a while, but clearly you were doing this before 2-9 ever happened. So how does it feel for you to be here in 2019?
It feels good. I wish I could talk to like 15-year-old me.
Your word.
Hey, bro, you on to something. Keep it going. But it just feels tight that it's what I get to do all the time. And I just feel blessed that I get to do it. This is what I wake up and do. It's what I go to sleep doing. So I just feel it's always surprising, but I just always like, you just feel blessed. Like, man, really as a kid, I decided it was something I really wanted to do, and it was something I was really interested in and really loved. And then I just stayed at it in every facet, every crazy situation. I was like, yeah, but I'm going to keep doing this.
Absolutely.
And I'm still doing it.
Congratulations, man. Have you ever had a regular job?
Yeah, man, I have had a regular job. I haven't had a regular job for about 5-6 years now.
Hey, that's lit.
I have had a regular job. I've had lots of regular jobs. I used to work at Macy's. I worked at Nordstrom's. I used to do like lawn care and landscaping. I used to clear out like foreclosed homes.
Okay.
Like when banks used to like foreclose on, or just like get homes and wait for them to go, like to where no one claimed the homes, and then they would claim them. I used to work for the company that used to go in and clean them out. A lot of them used to be like, would have been like squatters' homes, like for a while. So that job sucked. It paid well, but that job sucked. And just all types of jobs, man. I definitely used to work 9-to-5 jobs. I used to work some illicit jobs. I did whatever I had to do so I could just keep doing this.
Absolutely, man. And that's a word too, because all of us were in the entertainment industry. Shout out to Anissa. Like, we're all here doing this thing, and a lot of people think that this is easy. And you've been doing work for 10 plus years, and you're still here. So I think it's dope that you're willing to say, like, I had to have this job before all this other cool stuff.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. That's why it's so interesting, because that's what I tell people a lot when I talk to people. Are like, how'd you get to this point, or what's your advice? To just be like, you gotta, how it's almost like a how bad do you want it thing. Like, what are you willing to do to keep doing this? And a lot of people are just like, well, man, I can't work no 9-to-5, or I can't do this. And I'm just kind of like, I don't know if this is what you want to continue doing.
Right.
Because I used to have to do both. You know what I'm saying? It was a time where I wasn't even necessarily living in Atlanta, and I was in New York, and I was going back and forth.
Y'all good? You good, bro?
Going back and forth and doing that, and it was just like that. But it's what I wanted to do so bad that I was like, all right, nah. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm going to keep doing it. I don't care if I got to ride the train at 5 a.m. to get to work, and then get off work and then take the train all the way back. I don't care. And a lot of people, when I talk to them,
yeah, you popping, bro. He popping, man. That's money calling. It's probably Mike Will. It's probably Mike Will.
This is him texting me, though.
Oh, Loki. Hey, look at that. Look at God.
But nah, so yeah, when I hear people like, man, I can't work this 9-to-5 anymore and do it, I just be like, I don't know, then. I don't know what to tell you, because this is what I had to do, like, a lot, like long train rides. I used to have to walk. Sometimes the train wouldn't even be open by the time the studio closed, so I gotta walk to the train station. Hopefully it's 5 by the time I get to the next one. Hop on a MARTA, get to my partner house, sleep on the couch, wake up, go to work, and do it all over again. And to me, that's still little. That's regular stuff. You know what I'm saying? Some people have kids. I know partners that got kids, I know partners that gotta have other. I don't have kids, so people gotta pay child support. I know people gotta take care of their mothers and other members of their family and still do it. So if you're not willing to do that and make those kind of personal sacrifices, I decay. That's my biggest thing. Is that you gotta be really willing to just be like, man, whatever it takes.
That's real, and I respect all that. I respect all that. So initially, because 2-9, y'all were a collective of just different artists from different facets. Before I could tell, you and Sushi, you and Sushi C, like y'all are like best friends, for what I could tell. So how did y'all meet initially?
We went to high school together. I met Siege. So in my school, like battling was like big at that time. Like Freestyle Friday was going crazy on 106 and Park. So we used to battle every day, like just in the hallway or in the cafeteria. And it was like segregated. It was just like if you was like a freshman or a sophomore, you couldn't really go to like the gym and freestyle, because that's where like the seniors and the juniors did it. So just one day, Siege was just cool with everybody. And one day, one of my bigger homies had seen me freestyling in the cafeteria with the younger homies, and he was like, man, come to the gym. And Siege was already so cool, he already got to be in the gym. So he was just there.
That's funny.
Because he was a freshman, I was a sophomore.
Right.
So he could already be in the gym. He knew all the hoopers and stuff. And so my homeboy Snacks, he brought me in there. And Siege, he would beat on that was another reason why he was there, because he did the best beating on whatever. So he was beating on the bleachers, and he did the beat for me. And I think I just started freestyling. I ended up battling some senior, and I ended up losing. But he was just like, he came to me afterwards. He was like, bro, you snap. Like, you hard. He was like, I make beats. And I was like, oh, for sure. He was like, he stayed right down the street from the school. He was like, pull up to my crib on Saturday. And that was it. From that point on, we was locked in. I was with him almost every day.
That's lit, man.
And I was 16 and he was 14. I was 15. I hadn't turned 16 yet. And he was 14. So I've known him for almost half my life now.
Absolutely, man. That's dope. Shout out Sushi C, man. So what's it like for you? Because, y'all were always together, but you all have done cool things away from 2-9. For yourself, you had the Jace tape, which I was bumping heavy.
Appreciate it.
Absolutely, man. Definitely a dope, solid body of work. So how's it for you stepping outside of that, putting out your own material for yourself? Is that hard?
I wouldn't say it was hard. It was a little jarring at first, just because when you used to you always kind of had your bros behind you. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's one thing like when you on a song and you might be like, oh yeah, I snap, but my verse might not be cool, but you always know, at least in your mind, that like someone is coming behind you that you feel is like gonna snap, even if you was like faltering. Right. But it's just like when it's all you. It's just like it's just, it's just like a security blanket that I just had to get used to not having. Like if the song isn't tight or it's not cool, like it's knowing that's gonna save it after me. Like, oh, I'm waiting to hear Key verse. This Jace verse was all right, but I know Key's coming right after this, so I'm a bear with it. You know what I'm saying? To going like, nah, I gotta go hard for me every time. But then in that same way, it was kind of freeing to to just have it where the beat is just your own canvas, and it's just however I feel. I'm not going with like 4 different feelings or 4 different approaches or 5 different approaches to how they might be on the beat. It's just like, how do you feel? What do you want to say? So it was, it was just the duality of it. It was a little nerve-wracking at first because you're used to having your bros, but then it's freeing because it's just like, this is me. Right. You know what I'm saying? This is it.
Absolutely, man. That's dope. That's dope. Now, a few years back, I remember Kendrick bigged you up heavy on your contribution that you did on the joint with Ray Shrimmer down a lot of swag song. Like, he bigged y'all up heavy. So how does it feel for you when people, I guess you could say, like in a higher place as far as what we're doing, shows you love? How does that feel?
It's always cool. It's always cool, especially when it's people that you admire. That has always. That time was definitely public, but even just like privately when we've been in the same studio, he's always been real supportive. So
that's tight.
And just with Dot, with Mike, with anybody, it's just like, especially when you are an admirer of that person's body of work or what they've done or their contributions to the culture that you're a part of, it's always appreciated when they're like, oh yeah, that's dope, that's tight, keep doing what you're doing. So it's love, it's always love. A lot of people, Wiz, just even when I'm in the studio with Jim and he's like, bro, you snapped on this. You know, it's always like, word, that's tight. Especially like I said, when I listen to those people, I'm like, bro, you be going crazy
for years.
Like, I was going crazy. Hey, man, that's crazy, bro.
Yeah, surreal.
So no, yeah, it's always a little surreal, but it's always tight. I always appreciate it, and I always try to reciprocate it. That's the big thing. I never really try to bite my tongue when I'm around people that I admire. You know what I'm saying? I never fan out, but I'm always like, yeah, bro, you be going crazy.
Understood. So that leads us to Free Jace.
Yes, sir.
What's going on with you, man? Like, Free Jace, usually when an artist says free me, that means they probably got some head-ass deal. It's drama going on. What's going on with Jace, man?
Nah. Only thing that was really going on was that I had music that I was just holding on to.
Okay.
I had a lot of music that I would say that I just was locking up for a lot of different reasons. A lot of stutter stepping, a lot of stuff on me where I was just like, I don't know, man. I really can't let this go. And then so we was gearing up to drop this project, and then we were having some sample issues and blah blah blah. And at that point, I'm ready to just be like, all right, then let's just fall back. You know what I'm saying? And I was having dinner with Mike's manager, and then he had talked to Mike, and he was like, man, Mike is just like, you feel like you gotta let something go. You can't really just back out right now. You might have to.
I mean, should have worked for Wayne.
Yeah, it was like, man, you might have to give him something, man. You might have to let some of it go. You know what I'm saying? And so from that conversation, it was really his idea. He came up with the concept of Free Jace, and because the music was gonna be free, because of the sample stuff and the other stuff that we couldn't do, we couldn't really put it up for like streaming and stuff like that.
Dope.
In that sense. So he was like, man, it's just gonna be free. You're letting it go. You're letting it free. Free Jace. Okay. So we just kind of ran with that. But yeah, it wasn't I'm in a cool little deal. I'm in a cool little situation. But it's definitely a lot. It's definitely hurdles that you got to get over. Sometimes I'll be jumping the gun, and that's why I be starting. I'll be like, hold on, bring it back. I'ma chill. And then they were just like, I don't know if you could chill right now. We've been gearing up for it. You might have to let something go.
Absolutely. So really, it's just good to hear that things are good.
Oh yeah. No, we straight.
Absolutely, man. So in closing, you dropped a lot of gems. You gave a lot of really dope advice. In closing, you got to add the cherry on top of that gem. What is some more advice that Jace can provide for anybody who's just on the come up trying to make this music thing happen? Because you more than 10 years into this. Take it away, sir.
Man, some more advice?
Yeah, man.
Just follow. If it's you gotta really be able to tune out everything else. If you really want it, you gotta be able to tune out everything else that's going against that voice in your head saying, do this. There's gonna be a lot, and some of it might even be your own little voice, or it might be your baby moms or your moms or your pops. My mom and my dad weren't always completely supportive of my life path, and they wanted me to go back to school and do a lot of things, and I think so in some aspects I wasted time trying to appeal to those voices. I went back to school for a time, even having a job, which I needed because I needed to have money and a place to stay, but even in certain aspects or certain jobs that I took, I don't think I would have taken if I hadn't listened to those certain voices like, well, this is where you need to be in your life, and you can't just be out here doing this. When I knew what I wanted to do with the rest of my life. And that's a hard thing to do, especially with people that you care about, especially where it might be your spouse or your partner. Like I say, your mom, your dad, your aunt, your grandmother telling you like, oh, well, I know you really want this music thing, but I don't know, it might not happen, and you at least want to have this as a backup, and you need this, and you can't just be out here at this age doing this. And there's going to be a lot of voices like that. And those voices are coming from loving places. It's not like people are hating on your dreams or don't want to see you fulfilled in what you want to do. But you also got to be able to just kind of tune that out and cut that off and be like, nah, this is where I'm at with it. This is what feeds my fear and it feeds my spirit and fulfills me. And then this is where I'm going to take it. And that was definitely hard for me. I come from a very traditional Jamaican family. So I was supposed to be a preacher.
What?
So, yeah.
Damn, that's crazy. Right? I would have never thought that.
Right?
At all.
See? so
damn, man, Pastor Jace. All right.
Yeah, right. So that's that's a lot to contend with. And like I said, I don't have kids, but even the voice of someone when you're trying to put food in someone's mouth, or take care of someone who you're supposed to take care of, and they're telling you it has to be done a certain way.
Right.
That's a lot to contend with. But again, that's why I tell people you gotta really want it. You know what I'm saying? You gotta like really, really want it, because that's hard to do. It's hard to look at my mom and be like, nah, I'm not going back to school. But I see you though, but nah, it's hard to tell my pops that I'd rather couch surf for a year or two and just cook up a project and get it out the mud and get it, then be like, oh yeah, take this cool little job and do this over here. But if you really want it, you're able to do that. And usually, for the most part, the people in your life that do love you will kind of feel that energy and reciprocate it over time. It's not an instant thing. But that would be my other piece of advice. You got to kind of tune that kind of stuff out.
Absolutely, man. Very, very necessary stuff, man. So what can we expect from you, man? Like, what you finna drop? You got some shows? Will there be a 2-9 reunion? Like, what's next for Jace?
All of that part.
Okay.
Yeah, Mike just hit me on the horn the other day. We looking at end of August, beginning of September, the album. Yeah,
okay,
that part.
right.
All of that. I was just on the horn with Ash and Fani. Shout out Fani. All of that. Yeah, we getting it together. But yeah, that's really it. We gearing up for the end of the summer. I just shot like 2 videos last week. I've been putting together the 2-9 10-year compilation. It's just a whole bunch of unreleased stuff that we had in the vault that we just gonna compile with some new stuff. All of that. But that's on the way.
Absolutely.
But yeah, got that call. Mike said this time. He called me. He was like, yo, what you feel about the end of August? I was like, that's cool. I was like, what about the beginning of September? He was like, that's cool. Yeah, let's run with that. So that's on the way.
Absolutely, man. Sounds like we got a lot in store for you, man.
Yes, sir.
Well, I just want to tell you, man, thank you for stopping by, pulling up. You know what I'm saying? Definitely,
appreciate you having me, man.
That's all love, man. We've been rocking with y'all for a minute, so it's good to see that it's still continuing to do what it's supposed to do.
No, for sure.
That's all good, man. Instagram, Twitter, website, plug all that right now, my brother.
All that. All right. So my IG, that's Jace, Jace. Yeah, it's very, very elite Instagram name. Don't ask me to buy it. It's over with.
Hey, they got a blue chair with it.
Yeah,
got a blue chair with it.
My Twitter, Retro Jace, RetroJace. Yeah, that's all my handles. My YouTube, Jace, Jace.
Hey.
Apple Music, Jace. All that, man. Check me out.
Yes, sure. Man. Check them out. I'm Moran, the man. 20 Infinity Live. 96.7 The Beat. 404 Spotlight. Jace.
Yes, sir.
We out this thing.